Doing today. Praise the Lord. Listen, I'm trying to smile to keep from crying because y'all, I seen another video today and I want to show it to you guys because I want you to understand President, Vice President, Congress, senators, mayors, governors, city council, mamas, daddies. I want all of y'all to understand something today. I've been crying out for these babies for some years. And I just want to see if I can get y'all to understand something with this one video that I came across today. Let's see if I can get y'all to see what I'm seeing. Now pay attention, please. Make sure my video all the way up. My sound is all the way up. Okay. Now, please listen. Listen and listen well, please.
The bottom of my shoe, I get slapped with cheese. Sneeze cake, and you gotta eat that shit. No. Are you okay?
Now viral video showing a middle school boy being forced to lick the shoes of his bullies while walking home from school is causing the Golden Valley High School community to come together and say this is not okay. The victim's sister, Mariah Washington, who organized the Tuesday protest at Golden Valley, Washington had just been celebrating her baby shower when she heard the news of the video spreading across the internet. We got around 100 people here. What does this mean?
This turnout, I didn't know people cared so much. And it's really touching because he always feels alone. He always feels secluded. I felt that way, like my siblings grew up in the system, and we always felt like we were set apart. So, like, for the turnout to be this tremendous, it's amazing.
The bottom of my shoe, I get slapped with cheese. Sneeze cake, and you gotta eat that shit. No. Are you okay?
Now viral video showing a middle school boy being forced to lick the shoes of his bullies while walking home from school is causing
Okay.
the Golden Valley
Now
High School
that
community.
y'all saw that, let's see if I can get y'all to understand something. I'm a grown ass woman. I'm sorry, y'all. I love the Lord with all of my heart. And if y'all can't look over these words, then I don't know what to tell you. But I'm say it just like I feel it in my heart. I cry too much for these children. I'm losing too much sleep for these children. My heart and my soul and spirit is too heavy because of these children. For people to continue to go along like they don't understand. I'm a grown ass woman. And if somebody make me lick the bottom of their shoe, you better understand I'm coming back, and I'm coming back full force. Don't y'all understand? And can't name one of y'all, if any of you adults, president, vice president, senators, Congress, governor, mayors, mamas, daddies, police officers, Secret Service, FBI, CIA, any of y'all, if anybody tried to make y'all lick the bottom of your shoe, they will be catching something that it ain't gonna be your tongue licking on the bottom of their shoe. Tell me I'm lying when I know I'm not. Come on. Jesus. Tell me I'm lying when I know I'm not. Now, when things like that happen, and them kids end up taking some pew-pews to school, and then y'all want to throw them in prison, and then want to call them monsters, psychopaths. Y'all want to call them everything besides what they are. They are children that have been being abused, and they couldn't take it no more. They couldn't take it no more. Stuff like that, it comes because parents are not raising their children correctly. Mama, take your tail home and raise your children. Take your tail home and raise your children. It's bad enough that baby is in foster care. He already going through some issues. And then you got 2-3 other students going to make him lick the bottom of their shoe. Don't you know you can catch some of anything off the bottom of a shoe? And you're going to make a kid put their tongue on the bottom of your shoe? Are you serious? And y'all don't understand. Y'all can't acknowledge that it's not just black and white. There's a gray area with these children taking pew-pews to school. Jesus. There's a gray area, and y'all need to stop and pay attention and understand what's really going on. And stop just locking these babies up, talking about they this and they that when they're not. You're adults. And if something like that was to happen to you being an adult, ain't no way you just gonna lay down and take that. You're not gonna understand somebody making you lick the bottom of their shoe. And you adults. We've been trained. We know to deal with our issues a little better than that. We know to lash out with pew-pews. We know this. We know. Especially all those that I named, the president, the governor, the vice president, the mayors, and the senators, and the Congress, all of y'all, the CIA, the FBI, all of y'all. Y'all know not to lash out with pew-pews unless it's something, but for some, let's just say, for something that's simple. And to you, if somebody made me do that, oh, that was simple. She didn't have to pull out no pew-pew, but let somebody make you do that. You're not going to be that. You're not going to be that nonchalant. You're not going to be that understanding. Are you understanding what I'm saying? But we expect for these children to be. The devil is a lie. And if you feel that way, you a lie too. You a liar too. You're not being honest with yourself, and you lying to yourself because you're not lying to me. I'm one of the most laid back type people you ever want to meet. I'll let a whole lot of stuff slide. But don't come try to make me lick the bottom of your shoe. You done been walking in probably dog doo-doo, cat doo-doo. You done been stepping on flies and all other kind of bugs. And dirt and all that kind of stuff. You gonna make me put my tongue on the bottom of your shoe and you think that's it? That's it? Y'all, come on. Yeah, Jesus. Come on. You treat people the way you want to be treated. And y'all can't tell me that y'all would just say, okay, and then go on about your business. Go somewhere and cry some tears and feel like, well, it's okay, I'll get over it. No, don't do that. Don't lie to yourself because you're not lying to me. You're lying to yourself if you're saying that. You're not lying to me. You're not even lying to God because God knows better. He created you. He knows the heart and the mind of man. And if that baby turned around tomorrow and took a pew-pew, and then they say, well, they got it on tape where the boys made him lick the bottom of his shoe. It was 3 of them. Y'all still say, well, he could have dealt with that better than that. He didn't have to take no pew-pew to school to shoot them boys. And not be, instead of being honest about it. Because it was you. They're my kids. They ain't been trained just yet. I'm over 50. And I'm not going to just take no mess like that laying down. Joe Biden, you in your 70s, 80s? You ain't even going to take that laying down. You going to see your Secret Service on some missions, undercover missions. And I know what I'm talking about. Some say, well, yes, I would. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Y'all need to change some laws. Send them mama's tails home to raise these children the way they're supposed to be raised. Don't say, hey. And raise these doggone wages up to living standard wages. So that these dads can take care of their children without the mother's help. The mother's job is in the house, taking care of the children, making so those children are raised and nourished the way they're supposed to be. Spiritually and naturally. Mentally and physically. Yes, Jesus. Send them mamas home to them children, to raise them children. Them 3 boys that made that baby lick the bottom of their shoe, you know good and doggone well their mama. And it look like they're in a nice neighborhood. So that means mama probably 9.5 times out of 10 working. The majority of mamas is working. And in that neighborhood, yeah, mama 9 times out of 10 is working. Mama don't know them boys did that unless she just saw it or somebody contacted the mamas. Mama was probably out 9.5 times out of 10 at work when them boys was making that baby lick the bottom of their nasty shoe. But if she had been at home, the boys wouldn't have had time to do that. Why? Because mama would say, bring your tail straight home. Get your homework done. You got chores you need to be done, and I need you to do some other things. Them three little boys wouldn't have had time to make that little boy lick the bottom of their shoe. And other than that, the mama would have by at that age, they would have known not to be messing with nobody else, bullying nobody. If mama was at home taking care of business. Instead of in somebody's factory, somebody's office, somebody's clinic, she would have been at home taking care of her children, make sure those children, those boys grew up to be men. But instead, you got three little bullies growing up to probably become grown undercover bullies. Yes, Jesus. Hey, this is not fair to our children. This is not fair to parents that have raised their children correctly. This is not fair to parents where the mama is sitting in the house raising them children. It is not fair. All of y'all need to get it together. I seen that. I said, and I put it on there. I said, now, Lord, you know that if that baby took a pew-pew to school, they'd be saying that baby was wrong. And then they'd be lying to, well, he could have dealt with that better and that he didn't have to do that. Knowing they grown tail would have done the same thing. You just took a pew-pew somewhere to take care of that issue too. Lick the bottom of your shoe. And you'd have probably been walking on all kind of mess. And I meant that literally and figuratively. Let's keep it real. We all just want to live in harmony. We just want to live and let live. Everybody, we have one life to live. Most of us anyway. We got one life to live. And we want to live it the best way we possibly can. Jesus. We're supposed to be able to get along and let alone. I'm supposed to be able to live in my household and go out here and enjoy life just like you and my next door neighbor and the next door neighbor, the cross the street neighbor, around the corner neighbor, up the street neighbor, the next door, the next city, next town, the next state neighbor. We all supposed to be able to go out and live our life peacefully. And our children are supposed to be able to go to school and come home peacefully without being disturbed with another person's child doing some stupid stuff like that. That's not right. See, this is what make children do stupid stuff like that. The baby already in foster care. Already going through some issues. Heart already on a low level. Already low. Already low. Then they come along and do some stuff like this. Look, that was caught on video. Only God knows what else they've been doing to that baby. And then he reaches he reached that melting cord. That melting, that spot that caused that cord to just go. And then he found a pew-pew, take it to school. And then y'all want to say he wrong. He wrong. If they would do something nasty like that, ain't no telling what else they doing to that baby. How many other kids is going through this? How many of them kids y'all done locked up because they took pew-pews to school to try to kill or have successfully killed some children that have been bullying them? How many? But y'all don't stop and look at the reasons or the why or the how come. Y'all just look at, well, he did it and that's it. Life, you take life, you got to pay for it. But it's okay for a bully to just do whatever the hell they want to do to you, right? You're not supposed to stand up and fight for yourself, right? While that child was being bullied, I'm quite sure that child had told somebody more than once. But the bullying continues. Why? Because the parent ain't doing his job, the school ain't doing their job, police ain't doing their job. Yeah, Jesus. Won't nobody give that baby relief. The baby can't get relief. So the only thing that baby think he could do is do what? Gonna handle it himself and take a pew-pew to school. But y'all want to say he wrong. No. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Now that's all I had. That's all I came on here. That's all I wanted to say today. for right now anyway. And I ask y'all to send the mothers home and cause them to be able to take care of their own, to take care of their children and raise them in a proper manner. That's what I'm asking y'all to do. The president, governor, all of y'all, all political force, y'all need to come together, sit down, and make some kind of something, some kind of law, decree, or something, so these mothers can go home and raise these children properly. Stupid stuff like this is why different pew-pews are being taken to school on a daily basis in most cases. And it can be avoided if y'all just open your ears, hear these children lashing out, crying out, hear them crying out, and help these children. Then y'all won't let them crazy. Oh, that child was crazy. He got mental issues. No, he ain't got no doggone mental issues. He got issues where the doggone schools wouldn't nobody come to his aid. That's the only issue he got. That's the only issue he got. When nobody come to his aid. While you got parents over here raising monsters. Or better yet, the parent ain't even raising nothing. Because the parent ain't even at home. Children raising their own selves, doing all kind of nonsense. Well, y'all know that children's hearts are foolish. That's why the Bible say the rod of correction drive all foolishness from the child's heart. That's why we're supposed to tear that ass up when they cut up. It causes them to understand that there are circumstances behind every situation everything that you do. There's a circumstance that you have to pay. You have to pay for every. I can't even get it out right, y'all. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. For every situation that you put yourself in, there's a circumstance that you have to pay. You have to pay for every circumstance. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I just can't get I can't get it out right. That's what the rod of correction is for. And y'all know these children got foolish hearts. As a kid coming up, you always want to play. Your mind is you playful. Then your mind is very devious. And you got your imagination flowing like crazy. Yeah, Jesus. And then you want to be playing these little video games that ain't teaching nothing but stupidity. Watching some of these movies and videos, they ain't teaching nothing but stupidity. And then you're around with another one or two or three of friends, especially you boys. Mine just working overtime on some foolish stuff, on some nonsense. And then situations arise. Mamas, go home and raise your children. Go home and raise your children. Today, I decree and declare that you are already at home. I'm calling that thing to be not as though it was. You are already at home, raising these children. Because stuff like that, it's got to stop. And I know it's going to stop because you at home raising your children. You ain't even in nobody's workplace. All the mothers are at home raising their children. Avoiding and stopping foolish bullying like that. You're already at home. So that's all I had to say. Y'all, come together, do what needs to be done. We got to raise these children. Stop throwing them away. Got to raise them and teach them, prepare them for tomorrow. And they can't be prepared locked up in no cage. They can't be prepared laying 6 feet under. They can't be prepared like that. I know I'm tired of crying. You should be too. And if y'all ain't crying, that means your heart is cold as ice, which means I need to be crying for you too. Because every parent, every grown man and grown woman, whether you got children or not, should have some kind of emotion in your heart for any child. For any child, you should have some kind of emotion in your heart for children, period. Whether they're yours or someone else's. Because as I said before, I feel that all children are mine. And you should feel like all children are yours. If you see a child in trouble, you're supposed to be able to step up and help that child. Not sit back and say, well, it ain't my kid. Even though I've heard people say that. And I went and I walked on one side and down the next. You don't do that. Those children depend on adults. We're here to guide, guard, and direct them in the right manner. That's what our jobs is when it comes down to these children. Guide, guard, and direct them in the right manner. Jesus. Teach them with all sincerity. Mamas, thank you for going home to raise your children. Daddies, thank you for going to work and providing for mama to raise your children. I don't care if you got 4, 5 households. Thank you for going to work to provide for all 4, 5 of them households. Government, thank you for raising up the wages at work to a living wage. Okay? $17 an hour is not going to work. Probably got 5 children at home. Got a job paying $17 an hour. A family pack of chicken wings is $20 or more. A whole hour for one pack of chicken wings. For one pack of family chicken wings. And you got 5 kids, so that means what? That is a hour plus some for one meal. That's only 40 hours in the pay week. You got to pay lights, gas, you got to pay your rent or your house note. You got to get gas for your car to get to work. You got to make sure your car is in working condition. You got to get the oil, the antifreeze. You got to do all the different maintenance that need to be done for a car. You got to get shoes. You got to get clothes. You got to get hair done. You got to get haircuts. You got to get toothpaste. You got to get mouthwash. You got a whole lot of stuff you got to get. And if I'm working a job and you got a family pack of chicken wing is more than what I can make in an hour, there's something wrong with that pay. There's something wrong with that pay. You're supposed to be able to buy at least 3 to 4 packs of meat in an hour with 1 hour's work. You're supposed to be able to buy at least 3 to 4 packs of meat. It's always been like that until these last maybe 20 years, 20, 25 years. Think back to when I was a child, $17, man. Do you know how many packs of meat they would have got with $17 when I was a child? Even when my kids were kids, I was able to go get, I would be able to get a pack of chicken wings for like maybe, a family pack of chicken wings for like maybe $7, $8 for a family pack of chicken wings. When I was raising my kids. $7 and some change, $8 and some change. Come on. Something ain't right. But thank y'all for going home, government. Thank you for doing what you're doing and supposed to be doing. Thank you for setting things in order so that these children will be able to be raised properly. I don't want to see no more videos like that. They made that baby lick the bottom of their shoes. The bottom of their shoes. And this kid is in foster care. Who do he have to cry out for him? Nobody but his sister. You didn't see no foster parents out there for that baby. You didn't see no foster parents standing out there for that baby. You ain't heard on the news where they was talking about the foster parents went up to the school to complain about what happened to that baby. It took his sister to stand up for that baby. And y'all want to continue to act like you don't see. You want to act like you don't see. I understand what that dream the Father gave me when I was walking in my house and all I see was just bones, skeleton bones all around me on the outside. That's like Ezekiel dry bones. Y'all, it's like y'all just don't. You're alive, but you ain't. Where's your feelings and your emotions? Everybody talking about put your emotions in your pocket. Don't you know if you wasn't supposed to have emotions, God wouldn't have gave you no emotions? If you wasn't supposed to have no feelings, God wouldn't have gave you none? Don't you know that? You're just supposed to be wise about how you use your feelings and emotions. Don't kill your emotions and your feelings off like that. Don't do that. You think you controlling something, or no, I'm not gonna have no emotions for that because that's gonna take too much out of me. Don't you know you are losing more but not using your feelings and emotions than you are if you do allow your feelings and emotions to work? You're losing more by not using them. You're losing more. And for you Christians out there, well, you can't just be in your feelings and emotions all the time. Well, you know what? I imagine if the Father wasn't working with his feelings or his emotions when Satan did what he did with Adam and Eve. I imagine if he had been using logic, he wouldn't have kicked Satan out. But because his heart, hey, Jesus, but because his heart was heavy behind what one creation, which was the creation that he should have been able to for real trust, came along, and his closest one, his closest angel, the only one that was allowed into his own personal throne room. I imagine if the Father had just been working on logic and not feelings and emotions, when Satan did that, the Lord would say, "Oh, what the hell? We just throw them away and remake them." But no, what did he do? Because Lucifer done what he did to that creation that newly made creation that didn't know no better, he took advantage of them. So what did the Father do? Because his heart was touched, and it was touched in the wrong way, it grieved him. What is grief? It came because he had emotion. He allowed his emotion to work. What Lucifer done grieved his heart because of what he did to his newly created man and woman, mankind. It touched his emotions and it grieved him. And he kicked Lucifer, somebody that had been with him for millions and millions and millions of years. His best friend, his buddy. As some of us say, his ride or die. Because he did that, it grieved the Father's heart. He kicked him out. He kicked him out. And then it touched, and look, let's take a little farther. If the angels had been using their logic, they would have been like, I ain't going. But instead, they used their emotions because a third of the angels felt, let me say that again, felt emotion. Yes, Jesus. Felt in their angelic hearts that Lucifer was right. They didn't use no logic. Well, if they'd used logic, they would have known. Well, you know what? That's the Father. I'm not for to come against the Father. The Father ain't been wrong all this time. Now, I see what you're doing, Lucifer, and I feel for you, but I ain't going with you. I ain't no fool. But that ain't what they did. They said, well, you know what? The Father is right, and I understand, but Lucifer is right also. I got to stand with my brother. They used their heart, their emotions. They were wrong, but nevertheless, they allowed their emotions to be used. They did what they felt was correct. The Father did what he felt was correct because it touched his heart. Lucifer came along and touched that which he created for his own purpose. And his purpose was not for all this hell on earth to happen. It was literally for his enjoyment, for his pleasure. God created mankind for his pleasure, so that he could have children to come and sit with, something that he created with his own hand, something he called his children. That was not of spiritual being, but was of fleshly being. That he could come and just sit and walk amongst and be with and enjoy whenever he wanted to. But Lucifer tried to mess that up. So the Father used his emotion and he felt that it was wrong. If Father had used his logical and just threw the feelings out, like I said, oh, it's just two of them. We just throw them away and just go make two more. Undo them. All it took was for the Lord to just say, be undone. His words is power. Be undone. And Adam and Eve both would just went back to the dirt. Well, Eve would have went back to the rib, but then the rib would have went back to the dirt. You understand what I'm saying? That's all it took. Just that simple and just that easy. But that ain't what he did. What did he do? He used his emotion. He felt. Because that grieved his heart. For one of his children, which was an angelic being that had been with him for millions and millions and millions of years, they had never even made him think that he would do anything like that. But he did. And he did it to something that he newly created for his own joy, for his own pleasure. And he felt some type of way. He used his emotion. See, God tells us in his word, he say, mankind judge one another by the outward appearance. But I, the Father, judge mankind by their heart. By their heart, the inward man. And if you be of God, you're supposed to do the same thing. You're not supposed to be judging. He said, he that is spiritual, judge all things, but he himself cannot be judged by no man. Yeah, Jesus. So if you walk in spiritual, that means you are actually walking in the way that you're supposed to be walking by the Father, in the like the connection and extension of the Lord. And if you actually walking like that, then your heart is supposed to have emotion. Why do you think that when you come to the Father and you got that heart of stone, he turns the scripture say, I took that heart of stone and turned it back to flesh. Flesh is filled with emotion and feelings. You're not supposed to kill your emotions and feelings. If you did, he wouldn't have gave it to you. When you came and that heart was full of stone, he wouldn't have made it back flesh. He would let it stay dead. Are you understanding what I'm saying? He judged people from the heart, by their heart, by the inward man. Man judged people by their appearance, from the outward man. I can't do that. I'm my father's daughter. I'm my brother's sister. I'm my Lord's friend. I'm my Creator's wife. The Father is married to all backsliders, and we all backsliders. We were born backsliders. It just simply means sinners. That's my husband. And my heart is the extension of his heart. Yeah, Jesus. Hey, hallelujah. I can't judge some person by what's going on the outside. That's why I have to say, I see that baby's spirit. I see his spirit, his heart. I see it. Because I cannot look at someone and judge them by the outward part. I have to know what's in their hearts. Sometimes you can see a person's spirit, you just see straight through them and see their spirit. And see it's a pure spirit. A pure spirit just shines, whether you want it to or not. It just shines out. You can see it. A pure heart, it just shines. A heart or a spirit that's got a little issue going on, you can tell that too. You can tell it's a good spirit, but it's just got some issues going on there. But then when you got a dark spirit or a dark heart, you say, oh, that's a dark something over there. See, you can't go by what's going on the outside. You got to go by what's going on in the inside. Can you see that person's heart? Can you see that person's spirit? Can you see? Are you understanding what I'm saying? And I happen to be one of those that could see. That can see. Y'all, mothers, go home and raise our children. Go home and raise our children. And stop letting the devil have our kids. Stop. You hold more power in your hand than you think you do. You are a mother. You're a mother. You are a creator. Go ahead, Jesus. Go home, Jesus. Go home and raise your babies. Raise our babies. Go home and teach them the right way. Give them a fighting chance. Oh, wait a minute. You is at home, right? You at home raising our children, and you giving them a fighting chance. Whether y'all want to believe it or not, there's another world inside of our world. And that world is the world we can't see. Oh, they always intermingling with us, and we don't know it. All those negative thoughts and negative issues and negative stuff that's going on, that's the realm that you don't even see. That's messing with your emotions and your mind. And you can't tell it because you don't know nothing about it. And if you don't know nothing about your children, most definitely don't know nothing about it. And if you do know something about it, you need to sit down and teach your children about it. People call the Bible Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth. What you understand, what you don't understand, yes, it's basic instruction. But that's just the basic instruction for you, for your spirit man to open up and be able, and the Lord to be able to come in and pour more into you so that you can find out more of what you're going through and who you are and where you are. The Bible is a basic instruction. That's just the beginning. But once you hear Jesus, what's his stuff? Oh shit, thank you. Once you open up and just let the Lord, when you read that Bible and it opens your spirit up, and you begin to talk to the Lord and you begin to get a relationship with the Lord, that's when the Lord began to teach you other things that's not in the Bible. That's what he began to teach you. Most of the time it's in the Bible, but what it is he opens it up for you. Are you understanding what I'm saying? And then there is some teachings that's not in the Bible, because the Bible do say that the Bible wouldn't be able to he say Jesus have done more things, far more greater things than what is in this book, because this book couldn't contain all the things that he done. So there are things that the Lord would be teaching us that is not in the Bible. There are things that's not in the Bible. It said that book is not big enough to contain all the things that the Lord did when he was walking the earth. That's scriptural. And people say, well, no, that God didn't tell you that because it's not in the Bible. Well, all I can do is tell you to pray about it and ask him, because the Bible tells us that Jesus did a lot of things when he was in this earth, and the Bible ain't big enough to contain it. And then the scripture tells us, he said, because I've gone to sit on the right hand of the Father, you are able to do far more. You are able to do all that I done and far more exceedingly than I done when I walked the earth, if you but believe on my name. See, people, thank you for going home to raise your children. Government, thank you for making a way for them to go home and to raise their children. Thank you, daddies, for getting up and just standing up and making sure that these people give you a living wage. And all you people that own businesses, thank you for raising the wages up so that they can have a living wage. Okay? If chicken wings is $20 a pack, then people at McDonald's should be getting paid at least $60 an hour. I know y'all looking at me like I'm crazy right about now, but I don't care, because you all, in all actuality, if you're going to allow the food to be raised up to $20 a pack for one family pack of chicken, and you know good and doggone well people don't even make that in an hour, you're supposed to be able to buy at least 3 to 4 packs of chicken in 1 hour's work. 3 or 4 packs of meat for 1 hour's work. So if chicken wings is $20 an hour, then that mean people are supposed to be getting paid at least $60 to $80 an hour. And if that's too much for you to pay, then y'all better pull them rates, pull that price down on that food. Y'all won't be playing games. God ain't playing no games. The Father ain't playing no games. And I'm not gonna bite my tongue with you. Hey, Jesus. Yeah. Y'all can listen to all that foolishness out there that's all up in your ear if you want to. Y'all can choose to listen to that. But I'm going to do my job, whether you listen or not. Whether you hear me or not. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. And I'm giving you what the Lord has given me to give you. I'm giving it to you like it is. Stop messing with them babies, telling them they wrong. Mama, go home. Mama, stay at home, raise your children, because I know you already done went home and raised your children. All of y'all did. Ain't no women in these workplaces. All them mamas done went home and raised their children. And the daddies is out there working and making good money because the employers have raised their wages up, because the government has made a way for them to do all that. See, I'm call those things that be not as though they were. I know y'all gonna do it because y'all obedient. Y'all obedient to the Lord. This whole world is obedient to the Lord. We all do that which the Father said to do. We all do, especially the government, because they're the ones that has been placed over us. I'm not saying they've been placed over us by the Lord, but because they have been placed over us, y'all have chosen to put the people over us. I know they doing right. So everybody, again, I'm calling those things to be not as though they were. So I know everything is done fell in place already. Everything is already, yeah, Jesus. Everything is already fallen in place. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. Because y'all obedient. We obedient. We obedient to our Creator. Yes, we is. Y'all, I love y'all with the love of the Lord. Until the next time, peace. Stay blessed.